How much blood is there in your body?
How much?
Yeah, what's the volume?
What is it? Like 5 liters or something?
Yeah.
5 liters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Collectively, yes.
I mean, 5 minutes.
Huh?
5 minutes.
Five. And yes to all of this.
I think you said
The pathways,
last
right?
time.
Did I say no on this, on this example?
Yeah, he said no on the
Did I?
blood pressure.
Oh, man.
How many questions are you have? Like 150?
That's
a lot.
Did I? Okay, I'll be nice. I'll go.
Please.
Okay, no, okay, just, okay, forget about this part then. There's some good questions here, though, but I won't ask them. So cut it off here. Blood distribution and regulation for this page. I will not generate questions from this lower content, but anything above is fair game. Questions, I'm probably gonna have like 50.
50?
Make sure of writing the.
Yeah, I know.
Be able to identify the different components of blood, obviously, you'll do that.
You don't want to. Never mind.
I am a big fan of like what happens when you have a cut, that type of question. How do you stop
Histamine, histamine, and all that stuff.
the blood from coming out? What happens when, like at the cellular level? What's going on? So I will like to ask you that type of question for a written response, because that includes a bunch of things about the blood. You have, platelets and
All the
fibrinogen.
cascade of stuff, fibrinogen,
Yeah.
fibrin, because of the thrombin and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
you
like
know
that. I like that.
Oh my God.
Big fan. I do want you to know that little thing. In general, know the white blood cells. They're obviously part of the blood system. If I give you questions on this, it'll be very simple on the different white blood cells. I do want you to know them. It will be very similar to the way I tested you on the nervous system and the supporting cells, the glial cells, where I asked you like, basically like, what does microglia do? It's like, what's an immune system cell with brain, or the central nervous system? It'll be very similar to this, like, what's the primary function of, eosinophils? It'll be something like, fighting parasites or.
So is it gonna be like separated between like granulocytes and stuff like that, or is it gonna be separated between like monocytes, eosinophils, basophils? Or
Yeah, like that.
The
latter.
four. Okay.
The latter.
Oh, because last time you said you just want the general function,
I do.
but
Just-
not the, like, you said you don't need to know the types, like the lymphocyte.
You don't need to know anything beyond. So for lymphocytes, just B cells and helper T cells, or killer T cells are the ones we focus on. I think that's what we focus on in the videos.
B cells and T cells.
And killer T cells, yeah. There are other T cells. I think the videos focus on killer T cells. So just go to the general functions. The thing is, for B cells, you need to know more than just the
Memory.
antibodies. Because the content is way deeper than that, especially in the immune system module. Like for B cells, we'll get there. In general, I am a big fan of the immune system, so I probably will skip out on some cardiovascular stuff and go to the immune system. I like that. So I'm going to ask you questions about B cells.
Like where it's produced.
Yeah, like what's
Like
the
the yeast.
Well, I guess even probably that's probably too deep. B cells are producing antibodies, right?
Okay.
And what are the antibodies doing? If I can tease out something that's specific on B cells and antibodies, I will do it.
So, oh sorry.
Like the explicit thing is that there is some antigen, some epitope on a foreign substance that the antibody will bind to. I might ask you a question about like how the body has these like very diverse set of B cells innately, right? Like you're born with these. They're just different, and they're all producing antibodies, right? But then essentially, over time, you get exposed to these different substances, foreign substances, viruses or bacteria, and basically, yeah, one of these beta cells produces antibodies that just happens to fit to that particular bacteria, and then that's how you get specificity. Something like that, in as much detail, we'll ask. So I'm being very clear here, so whoever's here is going to be listening to this.
So hopefully not, but like nothing around like CD4, CD8.
No.
Okay. Thank God.
Well, actually, like a 6-point question on that. Blood tests. I'll ask you a little bit of this. Maybe like 1 or 2 questions on perception. Okay, blood typing. We did not cover blood typing. I will not ask questions on blood typing. No questions. Like compatibility type of thing. I ask you a question, like one question on blood typing, but it won't be on whether something's compatible or whether two people get together, the kid, what kind of blood type the kid could be, something like that. It will not ask you. Yeah, I won't ask you like whether a person with blood type A could receive or donate to some other blood type. None of
Thank
that.
you.
I always say the quizzes too, like just give it a glance. Like sometimes I get 2 questions from there. They're pretty similar. So that's definitely edema. I feel like I've covered that a million times already, but there'll be a question or 2 on edema, the lymphatic system, the function, the structures of the lymphatic system. Just know the different parts that make up the lymphatic system. Just as you should know the structures that make up the different systems, the different organ systems, like the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, the renal system. Know the whole. It's like anatomy, but I'm just gonna dump a little more stuff in there. But it won't be as nuanced as anatomy because, yeah, there is some details in anatomy that are really just tiny. Here it's more like just big picture. Tell me the big major organs of these different organ systems. Yeah, so anything here for sure is going to be fair game, viruses, bacteria, parasites, innate, acquired immunity. Yeah, I mean, I kind of emphasize enough. Definitely know everything here on the immune system. Nothing on vaccines, I told you. Nothing on these types of places.
Okay.
For the respiratory system, yeah, so structure here is the overall structure. How does respiration occur? I like these questions a lot. Questions like the question that was on the quiz. There's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 of those. Nothing on these formulas. I mean, the whole thing is very big.
Ah, I was like
Whole
thinking.
thing.
I was like, you're skipping a thing going.
No, this entire respiratory system. Got it. Except for any of these, like force equals pressure or resistance. The respiratory is pretty fun though, right?
It is.
You like it?
No.
No.
Structure-wise, it was pretty hard.
Huh?
Like anatomy-wise, it was pretty difficult.
Pretty difficult?
Well, I thought it was.
One note on it, on respiratory system, things like the carbon dioxide, carbonic acid, bicarbonate buffer system, absolutely was going to be on it. Not only was lab based on it, but it's an important function of the respiratory system. So you're definitely going to get it. If you do not understand like what would happen if your CO2 goes down or you hyperventilate or hypoventilate, you should definitely review it. And we'll ask questions related to that. It's just easier to write, so it's definitely, yes.
How about the pathway to get, for that particular pathway?
What do you mean? Or like what would happen if you like?
Like if you're hyperventilating, like certain receptors will detect that.
Oh, I see. So yeah, there was one question, I think I told you guys, that, yeah, there's a pathway there. Do know it. Do know it, yeah.
Which one was
There's a
it?
path, yeah, I remember now.
The stimulus for the,
Yeah.
hyperventilation.
The baroreceptor or chemoreceptor. Yeah, they get stimulated, but eventually it needs a contraction.
Yeah, the diaphragm.
Contraction or the relaxation.
respiration.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, he's referring to a video that is present here. It's, I think
It's on the bottom.
it's this line. Yeah. Yeah. This thing now.
Like if the chemoreceptor feel that there's too much H plus,
Yeah, well,
and it goes to the medulla oblongata and all that stuff.
Like if the CO2 is high, right? Like that's,
No, it's if the H plus is high.
yeah, I think the sensor there is the
chemoreceptors.
chemoreceptor, right?
Not. And it makes the diaphragm,
Yes.
it's a motor neuron thing, and the diaphragm goes up and down, and there's more response.
Yep.
That's what you want.
That pathway, yeah. And for those of you who are here, there's an example given here. And then this one is for high CO2.
So
Right.
you're gonna do low CO2.
My do low
So
CO2.
same thing as.
I don't know.
H plus.
It's not saying one.
Thank you. You know what, anything can help. What matters is we understand.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. The formula. Oh, the extra credit one, never do that.
You said there's an extra credit you never do that.
Yeah, well, I'm not, in lieu of that one, I posted the red one. Because there is some, I think, huge risk of like fainting from the assignment.
Oh, that one.
So I didn't wanna cause anyone to faint. Question?
Is there gonna be more lobsters or you're maxed out on those?
Yeah, I'm not putting any more.
Could you then? Those are fun.
You guys like them?
Whatever, 5 points. So much.
As we get closer, we're like, oh, we need extra credit. Can we ask for it, or is it like pretty much done?
I'm pretty much done with it. Very, very unlikely to get them more.
Retweets?
The most I would do, if I'm feeling generous, unlikely won't, would be to
Drop like lower score.
include one or two more extra questions on the exam. So that the exam would be worth 104 points, 102 points, and then it's out of 100. So that's probably it.
Can it be who is the professor? Never mind.
Are those maybe the hardest questions on the test?
I just make extra questions.
Okay.
I don't really think about it that way. I just make extra ones.
Are the lobsters, are they already, you have to kind of put them in the system, or those already part of our grade?
Those should be on.
It's already counted?
They're counted, yeah.
Okay.
If those are graded, yeah, they're in.
Okay.
On that point, some of you guys did lobster assignments. I think the second one, and I think there was one or two students who did not so great, likely lower than their current grade. And I don't know if you're gonna retry doing it, or if not, but if you don't want that affecting your grade, just email me and I'll drop it.
Because Because I think the first one I started it and it never finished, but it doesn't give you a score then, does it?
The first one, you said was supposed to be all extra credit.
Yeah.
But it still does it as like 4 out of 5 or whatever.
But I'm like, I'll check my grade book,
Okay.
how it's actually input again. I think it's 0 points.
No,
Okay.
it says it's out of 5.
But you said if it's below 4
This is
points.
the first,
The
the
first
actual
one.
potential one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
I'll check it, I'll double check it. Yeah, it should have been a 0. Yeah, I'll check.
And then you did say if it's below 4.5,
For the
then
second
you do
one.
a 5.
For the
Yeah,
second.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have not done so yet, just let me know. I think I did most of you, and bumped everyone out. But if I didn't, check.
I'm checking.
Okay, so renal, I'll just point things that I don't mind testing on the renal system.
You know it?
I'm not, yeah. You said I'm not.
Oh wow.
Counter current exchange, none of that. I think I mentioned it the other day.
Any no renals?
I am a big fan of these types of questions. I'm gonna try these activities.
So you're gonna include
So
them?
review the hormones that are regulating, that the kidney is either producing or that the kidney can react to or respond to.
Where's the glucagon?
How about the vasopressin? So that's the one, right?
Yeah, vasopressin and
Aldosterone.
aldosterone.
That's where you're gonna be testing it on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like these a lot. Really kind of cool. I mean, that's it. Everything else is good. Except for that counter. And that's it, right? Or digestion, right?
Their digestion.
Oof.
You don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to.
No, we can
Can you
Yeah,
just do
I-
like a take home quiz? Like the digestion things for the
Oh, really? Hope you got me good?
I mean, it'd probably be hard, but.
It's not that bad. Is it?
Right.
Alright, that's it. Okay, know the, obviously the structures, know the accessory glands. I will test you on, where the different molecules, likely the monomers, where the polymers are being digested. So like I'll ask you, like a question like, where are carbohydrates not being digested? And I'll give you like a list of like 4 options, right? I'll put like the mouth, the stomach,
The
butt, and then like,
esophagus.
yeah, the small intestine or something. So like, we put, something like that. So just know, by and large, okay, so we know for a fact that proteins aren't being hydrolyzed in your mouth, right? It's not happening, it's happening in the stomach and in the small intestine. So just know that fact, know that distinction there, that certain molecules are more, are broken down in certain places. Mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach. I like this whole idea behind, it's kind of an interesting concept. So pepsin is a protease, right? Found in the stomach. Then you have trypsin, which is a protease found in the small intestine. Both of those are being produced as zymogens, right? They're in inactive versions, right? And trypsin. What's kind of cool about that is that, so your body is producing pepsin, right? So now you have pepsin in the lumen of the stomach. So pepsin's a protease. So wouldn't pepsin digest itself? Like digest its own kind as well? So that you would have this kind of loop where pepsin's digesting pepsin, trypsin's digesting trypsin in the lumen. How do you actually ever keep it from eating itself up? I don't know. But I like questions like that. So I'll ask you a question on trypsin and pepsin. And pepsin, in fact, they're produced as zymogens. And right, the fact is that if you produce them in an active form, then it would eat up the stuff that's inside the cell. It would chew it up.
Which is
Random note, trypsin. So trypsin is a protease found in the, produced by the pancreas, right? That ends up in the small intestine. So we use trypsin in the lab to actually expand those cells that I showed you earlier. So you get a little bit of trypsin. And then it breaks apart the extracellular protein connections that are present between the cells and the dish. The trypsin kind of
so like
those
it
off.
frees it up or something? Or it frees up the
Yeah,
cell?
yeah, freeze it off, and so the cells kind of like, it's really fast, it's kind of cool.
Wait, how does it not damage the cells though?
So yeah, so there's a protocol present,
Oh.
so we, like, it's only a certain amount of time that we leave him on, just enough so that those extracellular proteins are cleaved, but not the intracellular ones, and then we what's the word, we neutralize the trypsin after that, immediately.
With what?
With what?
Yeah.
There is a compound in the media that the cells have used that will neutralize trypsin. Which compound that is, I never remember. There's a compound that the media is made with so that you can quench trypsin.
The CCTP something, the system.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Sorry.
We don't know.
Spend my Saturdays on
Okay,
this.
stomach, small intestine, large intestine. It's basically how you go from food to poop, right? So it's the whole thing. They're pretty short videos too. I can't see anything that I wouldn't test it on. There's only like 4 or 5 videos here. That's it. So endocrinology is gonna be posted next Monday. Again, no quiz this week. So I will not quiz you on digestion. It'll just be covered in the exam. The lecra will be optional, so that you guys can focus on studying. The 100 points, it's the last thing that's worth a lot of points.
Oh, sorry.
Besides that, so like,
Good luck.
next week is the last week we're meeting. After that, it's just a couple of 10-point quizzes. There's no lab on reproduction. So the last lab is endocrinology, which is next week.
Oh, there's still another lab next week?
There's a lab. Pretty sure it's a lab. Yeah.
He's making that lab 100 points.
Yes, there is a lab.
No.
That's it. We're done with the class.
Just a test.
So, again, I'll grade these today, and I'll publish the grades today, so you guys can see your most up to date grade. And that's it. You guys are welcome to go. Yes. You also, if you're gonna wait for your grade, that's totally cool. Just let me know.
Yes. You better detox this weekend so next time.
Okay.
Bye.
I might forget it.
I'll
Like,
send you.
You guys already put the place.
I don't worry about it.
Looks. Yeah.
What they drinking on tacos?
Huh?
I was like, they drinking.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I thought you were gonna do that.
Look at you just drinking water now. This is what we rest of.
You actually motivate me to go back to that gallon thing. Because I have been slacking. And it's so hot and I don't do it. What is wrong with me? You have
I know I'm so
motivated me.
behind right now, but I need it.
Like my body needs.
Wait, I'm
And then
gonna be
after
where?
that, I quit.
I'm gonna be where? You said, Krista, you're gonna be there, right? Where?
Next week. Oh,
Oh, next week?
yeah, after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making
Look at your
sure.
glasses. Those are the Ray-Bans, like the ones that are.
They have my prescription, so I tried contacts,
Wait, what? Those are prescription?
but they pop off. My head is really small.
Your contacts?
Whoa.
Like,
No,
this
but
one, I feel like.
my eyeballs were 240. My eyeballs are
Find your
240.
BMR with the app, because the first question is, what is your BMR with the filling out?
Oh, BMI.
Alright, I'll see you guys next Okay, bye. I'll text you if I need anything.
Okay, I know.
Right? Mental support.
Seriously, I need it.
Right, not come back now.
Part, these are so cool.
Cause look,
Are you
I
sure
tried the contact lens.
No, I hate
It pops out. My eyes are huge. It pops out. My eyes dry out. I'm not gonna be fucking doing this all motherfucking day. So my summers have sucked, and then my facial is like, oh, you're getting a little wrinkly. Are you wearing your sunglasses? I said I'm not, cause I wear the regular and the shades, and people say I look like a retard. So this year, I said, okay, I went to my optometrist, reevaluated. My vision has not changed, which is great news. But then I was like, I want my sunglasses. Oh, really?
Not really.
Sorry.
I have really bad vision though. I'm gonna get that though. I need that. That's good.
Do you have an honestly, optometry? Not ophthalmology, optometry? You can go buy cash like Walmart. It's cheap. It's not that expensive.
Well, I have insurance or a job, so I think I have to pay the
Even
deductible.
better. You have nothing to shit about. Or sit on.
I'm gonna check my grades. Let's go check my grades.
I'll grade your plans. Wait.
Yeah, I have that. Sometimes I get nervous. I don't know why. I think I've got hypotonics or the hypertoxic hypertoxic.
Yeah, that's.
I did that. I did that. Oh, I did this for a nutrition class. I still can't remember how to.
Did you find the BMR?
That's what I'm trying to look for now too, because I remember I did it. I did this same exact lab.
We can just find the Google.
You can Google the formula.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes.
Are those the graded ones?
I wouldn't know. I'd have to. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with yours, because I haven't published your grade yet.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm gonna have to publish an extra assignment to make that work for your exam grade. You'll be the only one looking into that. I can't include your grade as part of everyone else's grade because it's worth a different number of points. I'll try to, what I can do is try to update the grade as much as I can. Well, let me know, I wouldn't be able to predict your final grade, like what the minimum,
You can't predict it.
I'd have to, because I haven't finished grading. Yeah.
Alright.
But I will update your exam number 2
Yeah,
score
Yeah.
as soon as it's 67.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
The last
Okay,
time I used
thank
this,
you.
I weighed 170.
What is
The
this?
last time I used this, I weighed 170.
I'm afraid to ask what.
I weigh 230 now.
Here,
Let me
here,
see this
here.
app.
Guys, waiting for your grade.
Let me see
Yeah.
this app.
Okay.
I have all my stuff in
Okay,
here.
raise your hand if you want your test graded. Graded, okay. Graded?
I don't want. I'm just waiting.
Okay,
I don't want.
so I'll grade both of yours.
It's just I'm like borderline 8, and I'm just trying to.
Fine, grade mine. I'm here
Yeah,
already.
you did?
But I'll be less.
Okay.
Let me cry it off.
You guys did fine overall.
I think the one
It's more like I'll see you in fall.
the one
I'll
you
be
know what I
crashing
thought-
your class.
You know what I definitely myself
Give
was
me the code.
blind spot, because I literally totally forgot about that. About the optic
Cones and rods and
nerve. Or not to do the
optic
photoreceptors,
nerve
but I had
and-
totally forgot about the optic nerve. That's like where. Don't have photoreceptors.
But they finally put your name on the schedule because I keep checking
Yeah,
it.
I Here's my cheat sheet.
No rush.
No.
I feel like I'm making you anxious.
No, we have, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not all the time, I will, but it was like, I don't see it very.
Right, technically you guys are still in class, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they
We're
get
like
to the lab.
it was like the earliest we've been out, so I'm happy with that. Like,
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Oh, I guess I could make it. My dental appointment. For that property management job I had, I have to use a.
Take classes during the fall.
Do you know what a? Yes.
What do you do?
Microbiology.
Micro.
Yeah.
what are you saying with?
Jessica, I forgot her last name.
Igor?
Yeah. I'm trying to get Ravenburg.
I'm in Raymondburg. Fingers
You're
crossed.
lucky.
If I pass,
You're
I don't
lucky.
know. I'm like this. If I pass this, I go here. If I pass this, I go here.
So I might just go on the first day and try to add him. Hopefully.
I don't know. I'm in the class, but
should
I'm
get very
afraid. Afraid.
No.
Why
Don't
do
do
that?
that.
What is that? He
Very-
wrote the damn book.
He's very strict.
Yeah.
Very chess.
Is he?
Apparently
Yes,
he wrote
This
the
is
book.
Olivia,
like the
my
book,
partner, she
and
said
then,
she
like,
failed her
every-
class because the exam was like over 100 questions. Over. No.
I just know him because I see him a lot. Because in the offices, he looks like a nice guy.
Tell him to chill out.
Yeah, chill out, bro.
Chill out,
Yeah,
bro.
the first 6
We're
weeks
drowning
of
on
this semester, my professor told me, she's like, oh, go look in the, cause I need to like figure out how to like distinguish like two bacteria that were very hard to distinguish.
You know,
And
Professor.
she literally is like, oh, go in the book. Cabinet, there's a book right there, and literally it's all of very Chess's like old books, and I'm just like, what? These things are like 1930s. How old is this guy? Like,
I saw his reviews and I was like, oh hell, no. I actually look you. You're nowhere.
I don't think I'm on.
I'm gonna be your first review. I know. I'm gonna put one for you. Right.
you don't have, you don't.
I
why
actually
don't you
came in here
do- they don't
blindly.
Tell you to do
Same
like
here.
the midterm or like the stuff like the reviews and stuff, or is that like optional from the professor?
What are you guys talking about?
Like just no, like okay, I just like regular professor. But I'm saying also like, I know some professors, a lot of the professors I had, they have like their own review.
Like internal.
Internal, yeah.
I had mine last fall.
Oh, but I guess
But that was my first time.
Oh,
so
okay.
now I'm gonna get another one this upcoming
Oh,
fall.
okay. So it's only
Yeah.
when it's normal semester. Is there?
Yeah, during
okay,
the normal semester, once a year, I think, for adjuncts, and then for full-time faculty, I think it's one every 5 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of stressful actually. For like last semester last fall was my first semester teaching, and that was hard because like I knew I was gonna get scored upon by the students, but I was co-teaching the class, so there's actually another instructor there. So it's like I can't control what the students are thinking because like they could think one thing about the other instructor, one thing about me, but then like when they're reviewing you, they don't care. They just throw out whatever they think.
Especially because it's like 10 points, so it's like 10 points basically.
I didn't give points.
Oh, really?
Oh,